Hi, my name is Giorgio Critelli, and I am the Bausano manager in charge here in US and in Canada. JR is part of our sales force.
My name is Duff. I work with a company called IMS Tri-Mechanical, and we are the national representatives for Bausano. We have locations in Chicago, in Elk Grove Village, as well as in Oswego, Illinois, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. We're here to talk about the Bausano extrusion system today.
Okay, let's speak about Bausano. We are the oldest Italian company involved in the manufacture of extrusion line. We are 80 years old. We are quite old, but
80 years old. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. But we are quite focused on the innovation. Sorry, in the innovation. We are going to speak better about our patent, the multi-drive system, the smart energy system, and also the department that we have in Bausano with the lab scale. Right now, I just would like to tell you that we do any part in-house in Bausano.
Yeah, so basically Bausano's the only extrusion company, not to disrespect any of the guys circling around us here, but Bausano makes all their own extrusion components, from the drive system, from the screws. They have over 1,000 screw designs, all the way through the tooling. Bausano manufactures their own products.
Yes, when we say that we do any part in-house,
yes,
as you mentioned, we mean that we do the extruder, we do the gearbox, we do the gears inside the gearbox, we do the barrel, the screw, and the rest of the downstream part.
Yeah, they even write a lot of their own control logic with the control logic system, which we'll get into in a minute, which is very, very inclusive and comprehensive. But I think we should start with the multi-drive.
Great. With the multi-drive system, we work with 4 motors instead of 1.
Correct.
Why with 4 motors? Because connected with 4 motors, we have 4 transmissions. In this way, we can reduce the stress inside the gearbox. Instead, to have a very big, large motor, we have 4 motors, but the total power installed is less than 1 big motor.
Yeah, there's a couple things about this that's really exciting. So instead of having one large bull gear that's coming down on the gear on your screw, and you've got one pickup point, now you're dividing that stress on the gear into 4 components. So that's not, we'll get into energy in a minute, and we'll get into increased throughput in a minute. But that also, from a maintenance standpoint, I mean, we've got gearboxes out here in North America from 70s?
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Late 60s, early 70s that have never been replaced. And it's because of the patented information that you're about to hear about. Go ahead.
Yes, just for this reason, we reduce the stress inside the gearbox. We have less power installed. And we can get a best quality of the material. Do you know why, JR?
Tell me, Giorgio.
Thank you. Because you know that in the PVC, we need to reach the gelation point.
Yes.
How we can reach the gelation point? By the mechanical shearing of the material and by the heating system. With the traditional extrusion line, you are going to reach the gelation point mostly by the heating of the barrel.
Correct.
With the multi-drive system, considering that we can have a high torque, why we can have a high torque? Because we have 4 motors, and each motor is dedicated to one part of the gearbox. For this reason, we can handle a high torque. This high torque allow us to reach the gelation by the mechanical shearing and not just by the heating of the barrel.
Absolutely.
Do you want to add something else?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. As an overall general sense, the multi-drive system, basically the thing that's important to understand is you're getting about 35% more material or pounds per turn than you are against an extruder of the same size from another supplier. And we're doing that at 30% less energy consumption or usage. You agree?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You want to go on to the smart energy system?
I just would like to speak about the degassing point, and after that we are.
Why don't we go ahead and swing around the other side?
Over here we have the degassing point. In the degassing point we have two filters. When one is full, you can switch off this one and switch on the empty one, and you can continue to work with the extrusion line. Oh, go ahead.
Speak a little higher.
Okay, thank you. Over here we have the circuit unit. With this circuit unit, we can handle the silicon oil inside the screw in order for the thermoregulation of the screw. And
so all of your cooling systems are on board and very tight and compact. And as he said, we're using a natural oil that doesn't break down for your internal screw cooling. All of that is housed in this area here.
Okay, let's speak about the smart energy system.
To me,
I know that you are in love with
I
the
am
system.
in love with the smart energy system. Basically, you're using
the ceramic plate, the ceramic heaters.
Yeah, so if you ever talk to people about the heaters on their systems, you can have literally a runaway on a zone, and it'll melt down those ceramic heaters all along the way. On top of that, you're creating the heat and you're heating up that barrel, right? You're heating up that barrel and you're losing ambient temperature. You know, the guys are putting their burritos or sandwiches on your extruder so you can heat them up. We have what's called a smart energy system. It's using induction heat. Why don't you get into a little bit what that induction heat system does?
Actually, in the induction system, we have the barrel, and around the barrel, we have a coil of copper. In this way, we can create the electromagnetic field. The electromagnetic field creates eddy currents. In this way, the barrel itself become part of the heating system.
Right, so it's creating that connection so that eddy current, all that energy is driven into the material and literally your ambient temperature outside of the extruder. So there's another way to save on energy, because obviously you're not utilizing that energy. Not only are you not losing energy, but you're heating up that material temperature in 40% less time. So let's say it takes an hour. You're doing that in what, 20 minutes? You're doing that heat up in that amount of time. So that's where some of that energy savings also is coming from.
Exactly, but we don't have dispersion of energy in the environment, and we don't have thermal inertia with this system. And also, another benefit is that the temperature of the material will be the same temperature of the barrel. In this way, for example, when you reprocess PVC...
Yeah, like PVC burns, right?
Exactly. You need to handle exactly the temperature of the PVC in order to avoid burning or degradation of material. In this way, you can handle exactly the temperature of the material that you are processing.
100% correct.
Thank you.
Did you want to touch on the degassing before we go around the other side? Or?
In my opinion, the best way is to speak about the Industry 4.0.
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and swing around to the front side here, guys?
This is our HMI. It's very clear. Over here, you can see the bar, the amperage, the tone on the thrust bearing system. Actually, we have our own thrust bearing system because we build in-house also the thrust bearing system. We have a loading cell in the thrust bearing system in order to handle and to manage the tone in the thrust bearing system.
Yeah, and some of the really neat things that he's talking about here is not only do you have right here you have what is your vacuum, your pressure, what is your amps, what is the throughput. Now obviously these can be written in different languages, you know, as far as English, Spanish, Italiano, or others. But it's obviously a touch screen, very nice large screen, but some of the things he was alluding to a second ago, maintenance and support is extremely important to Bassano. It's what they're building their product line on. So in this system, they literally can, we have done this a number of times with a PVC manufacturer right up the road here, where they were having some issues because they weren't able to produce as much throughput from their past extrusion lines. So we actually, our technicians got on with them and helped them with their process. You know, this zone could be a little higher temperature. Let's back this zone off a little bit. Those kind of things are extremely invaluable through the Orchestra 4.0.
Yes, exactly. A predictive maintenance that we can have.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I just would like to add that over here in US, obviously we have the support of JR. It's a big support, but we also have a service in Kentucky. We have a warehouse over here in Chicago because for each extrusion line that we sold, we are sending over here a set of spare parts.
Yeah, so instead of holding spare parts for customers in Italy, we have a full set of parts with every extrusion line that goes out that's maintained, not taking up space at your facility, taking up space at our facility at no charge. And when those spare parts are required, that serial number obviously has a connection, and those parts are sent off to you.
Yeah, we have also a service in Kentucky, and in 1 year we are going to have the Bausano US.
Yeah. We're in the process right now of looking through the Carolinas and in Ohio for doing a final assembly of extrusion systems here in the U.S. By the way, before we get past this too much, we were just talking a little bit about service. There is a smart or an inductive or however you want to call that. It knows when maintenance is predictive, maintenance is coming up. So it senses a motor's vibration is off. It senses the heat temperature's off. And it literally will give you countdowns on when maintenance should be done in certain areas. So that before we went on, I just wanted to make sure, since we're talking about service, not only a service, by the way, a service technician guaranteed within your facility within 24 hours. That's a service person. Service is extremely important, and 24 hours a day, because we support the U.S. operations here. We have service, and then of course in Italy we have service. So all Italians speak English, better than Giorgio.
Yes.
And they actually have 7. How many English teachers do you?
No, we have just 5.
5 English teachers full-time on Bausano, continually dedicated to building the operations in this business. You do how many extruders a month?
No, we
worldwide.
Actually we do 10 extrusion line per month.
So basically, they're producing an extrusion line and a half goes out of their operations every month, worldwide. So we're really looking to build what we've done already, started here in North America, meaning Canada, meaning America. We're really looking to build that business here and making that financial commitment to do so.